All right, you clicked on this video and you're already wondering why should I stay? Why should I be listening? And I'm going to tell you in just a quick point. Trading can give you your time back, and it has given me my time back. I'm going to say that one more time. Trading can give you your time back, and it has already given me my time back. I traded full time last summer, and just last year I started seeing consistency with trading. I've been trading since 2020. And I want to, if I can just reach one purpose, that purpose would be to get somebody to understand the value of trading and what it can do for them, which is gain your time back. If I can just get one person to realize that they can gain their time back, I have done my job. That's why I'm making this video. So I have got to a point where I can make $100 a day consistently, $200 a day consistently, $300 a day consistently. I've had $800 days, $1,000 days, but the money does not matter at all because the process of doing this over and over and over has taught me that no matter what size account you have, it's the same thing. Whether I have a 100K account or a 5K account, you're going to make more money relative to your account size. But if you can just learn how to do this, even with $100, if you make $10 a day, I guarantee you this can change your life. Now, this is essentially day trading elementary. I'm not going to make this as complicated as it needs to be, or I guess I should say more complicated than it needs to be. This isn't day trading high school. This isn't day trading college. This is day trading elementary. I'm not going to use any fancy financially literate guru terms about markets and all this other stuff. I'm simply just going to teach you price action. What does this mean? If you go to tradingview.com, you can find these charts. On the left hand side here, they give you all these tools so you can mark up your charts to see what you want to see in the market. Right? It's going to help you get a visual. This little toolbar right here is also going to be your best friend because it allows you to get easy access to the tools that are all hidden in here. If I click on here, you see all these yellow stars. These yellow stars, just send them to this toolbar right here, right? So the left hand side right here is where you can see all of your stocks and stuff. And if you want to access another one, all you simply do is just click symbol search and then you just search up a new one. This right here is different time frames. All these do is track price every time increment that this says. So I'm on the hourly chart right now. This is going to track how much price is moving in 1 hour. If I click on 5 minutes, it's going to track how much price is moving in 5 minutes. So now let's put this in full screen. When you're in full screen, to access that, and this is why you need this toolbar, because when you go in full screen, your tools are easily accessible. If I click 1, you see how it says 1 minute? All I did was press the button 1, and I'm going to hit enter, and it can change my chart. If I click 1 hour, 1H, it'll take me back to that hourly chart. If I hit 1M, 1 month, it'll take me to a monthly chart. And I can zoom out and see what price is doing on bigger scales or smaller scales. Price is going to move the exact same on all of these time frames. It's going to be the same patterns, the same setups, the same things. It is your job to learn which one is accommodative to your lifestyle. Do you want to be sitting in trades for weeks, or do you want to be sitting in trade for an hour? That's all going to be dependent on these time frames. Me personally, I use multiple time frames, like the daily, to see what price is doing on bigger scales. Okay. And once I see what price is doing on bigger scales, it allows me to see what price could be doing on smaller scales to get bigger moves on those smaller scales. So I'm going to go back to a 60-minute chart, which is just 1 hour, and break down what these candles actually mean. So the black candles, as you can obviously see, mean price is going down. The green candles mean price is going up. it'll be easier for you to see this on a 1 minute chart of what these wicks mean. These wicks, don't get scared of the wicks. All they simply are is just telling you where price previously was. Looking at this candle forming right here, we just saw this candle tap down a little bit and now it's going up a little bit. Now, if price keeps on going up, it'll form a green candle, as you can see right there. If price starts to go down, you see that wick because price was just there. And if price starts going all the way back down to this point where it opened, it'll start forming a red candle, right? Just like it's doing right now. If it goes down just a little bit more, it'll form a red candle. And so essentially what you want to do is just learn how to read price action. And I'm going to do a quick price action breakdown to show you that really anybody can do this. I'm going to go to a 60-minute chart. And actually, I'm gonna do something special for you guys right now. So I'm going to hide my chart. I'm going to zoom all the way out. And I'm actually going to break down some charts for you guys. I can't see what's going on. We're going to go back just a little bit. Keep going back. Go to a random spot. Don't know where I'm at. That should be good enough. Use the replay function. We're going to go here and unhide the chart. So this is where we currently are in price action right now. Right? Since I am interested in bigger time frames, to make this not look like it's a bunch of scribbles, I'm just going to view it on a bigger chart. So I'm just going to go to like a daily chart per se. And now what do I see? Well, I see price trading down, coming up, trading down again, and coming back up. Now I want you guys to notice a specific pattern. And I'm going to draw it out first. We saw price go down. And let me delete this. We saw price go down, play around a little bit. We saw price go down again, come up a little bit. We saw price go down again. And every single time price has done that, it's not going to be that clean, but that's okay. Every time price has done this, it has kind of left a little zone up here. So if we look at this circle, boom, and we look to the left, that circle is this circle. And then that downside move, you see it goes up and then comes down. That's what this is. It goes up and comes down. It breaks this circle. This circle indicates that there's a low right here. This is a low point in the market because it came down in reverse. Anytime you have a reversal, that's a low point. So right here is a low point. Right here is a low point. Right here is a low point. Right here is a high point. Right there is a high point. Why? Because it's going up and coming down. And now we can draw a zone like this to indicate some type of movement in price, right? So if price returns back to this area up here, like we see right here, we have a good indication that maybe it could go down just because this is what we've seen before, right? And how do I know we've seen this before? Because look, if I draw another circle, okay, with the exact same thing, price comes down and breaks that again. Now, if I draw a zone right here, you may be thinking, okay, well, price broke through this zone right here, but that's okay because price doesn't always have to do that same pattern every single time. It doesn't always have to do that. Sometimes it can just break right through it. But what's valuable about this is that even though this zone didn't hold, in the context of the market, how we see it's going down right here, look at this. It's just going down and down and down. Maybe price wants to go down at some point, right? So if I drag this zone over, like so, click a couple candles, right? We start to see prices starting to slow down a little bit. And price is actually starting to reverse off of this bigger analysis. Why? Because we think price is going down. Maybe it's going to keep on going down. And that's when we start taking a step back and we say, how can we jump in on smaller time frames, right? Because we would think that maybe price, just maybe, would be targeting here. Is it guaranteed? No. But this circle acts as a magnet, just as we've seen this circle act as a magnet for price. And this circle act as a magnet for price to come down. This circle was the initial one, okay? But this circle will be a magnet to repeat what this circle did. And we kind of start seeing that form right here. So if we keep on clicking a couple candles, we can see that price, is starting to head towards that magnet. Okay. Price is heading towards this. And now this is very common in the market, stuff like this. Stuff where I've seen this before, maybe I'll see it again. If I keep on clicking, let's see what price does after that. What do we see, guys? It's the same exact thing, okay? We see this circle right here, all right? We see this area up here. What does price do? Where's price going to head to? It's acting towards this magnet. It's heading towards this magnet right here. Let's look at the next couple candles. And you see it breaks it, keeps on going lower. So in the future, maybe what are we looking at? Maybe price could come back up to here. Is it guaranteed? No, I'm not saying it's guaranteed. But I'm saying this is something specific you can look for in the market to help you get an edge over the market. 99% of this price action is noise. But if we look for our exact same setup every single time, comes down, comes up, goes down, comes up, comes down, goes up, comes down, you can make a lot of money off of this simply by looking at the same thing over and over. As a beginner, you want to look for the same thing over and over. Don't make it harder for yourself. If it takes a day to see this, then sit out. If it takes 2 days, 3 days, a week, a month, then sit out. Because that one time that it does happen, you can make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, right? Now, on the contrary, let's delete all of this. Price isn't going to go down forever. So let's look at the flip side of things. We see right now, price is kind of in this area. We want to see if I'm taking a trade, I'm going to get out beneath this area, because the same way we see that setup on the downside, we can see that setup towards the upside like this, right? Okay. In which we have a high broken, price returns to some type of zone down here. This would be called our demand zone. And then price comes down and then trades back up. We can also see this. And so this area is an area of interest for me because it's a low point and it's a potential reversal zone, right? And so I'm going to take my profits as I get to these potential low zones. As I get to areas where my money can get taken again, where the trade can start going against me, I'm going to take my profits. And now let's see what price does around this area. You can see we have some more of those pullbacks. Price is moving, and in it's scenarios like this where, once again, what are we seeing? The exact same thing. And I will keep on doing this until I have a reason to not do this anymore. If I start taking a lot of losses, right? If I start taking a lot of losses where price is like, okay, it starts going against me. It starts going against me. It starts going against me. Every time I'm trying to enter off of these zones, then that's when you start switching your analysis. But right now, there's no reason for me to do it. Even off of this candle right here, you see this candle, we're on a daily chart, remember? As a day trader, you can make a lot of money in one day just off of this move because this setup exists. Let's keep on clicking. And like I said, what do we see? As price approaches these areas, and even though it taps a little bit down below this one, those are potential areas for price to reverse. And now we think to ourselves, where could price be heading? If I draw another circle, right, I have a zone up here. There's more potential. Okay. And then, so then again, it's just about waiting and waiting and waiting. Price is going to do the exact same things, and we're just going to wait for it to do it. Let's see what happens. Price approaches this. So we get into here. We see a little bit of playing around, but I want you to understand this is what I mean. This is what I mean when I say if I see price start to play around and keep on doing this higher and higher and higher, then I may be looking for confirmations. And so off of this zone, then I may be looking for price to take out this low right here. I would want to see price do this first and maybe return back to our zone to give us our setups again to let us see the exact same thing. And this is that idea of confirmations. Because if I keep on clicking play, just based off of, all right, we see that low is taken out. Boom. We're starting to see that again, right? And now we see that potential to take that setup. Even if we have all this playing around, we have areas that we can capitalize off of. And you see how I confirmed that it was going to do this. I didn't simply, when it got into the zone, I said, okay, I'm going to take a sell. I could have right here, but there would be no point, because what's the point in risking more money, right? Just because I want to confirm where price is going. Right here, it was easy. And in these contexts, it was easy to confirm where price was going because it kept doing the same thing over and over, right? And so once again, we're just going to delete this. We're going to delete this one. And we're going to look for the same thing. We have this zone right here. We see this low get taken out. And that maybe that's potential for us. And I'm going to speed it up. And let's just see what happens. But maybe that's potential for us to take these setups. And once again, not these zones are always not going to hold. As these zones get used more and more and more, there are more opportunities for it to not get used again. And that's when we start switching up our analysis and start looking at the things on the other side, because we want to look for fresh zones. And by fresh zones, did you see how I said we can also see the same thing on the flip side? Well, what do we see? Right here, price come down, trades up, coming back down to some type of zone like this. Okay. And it's all simply off of a break of that high. That's our area of interest. This would be considered our demand zone. I denote my demand zones by a gray box, whereas the supply zones are a red box. When price is going down, I draw red ones. When I think price is going up, I draw gray ones. And so where am I going to draw my gray box? Boom. You see that circle? It's the exact same thing as this setup. You see this candle down here? Boom. And then what do we see? Tell me, what do we see? We see maybe that pattern is about to play out again. Okay. If I press play, you see it taps into it, comes down, but you can still capitalize on the actions, and we see it start to go down. So guys, I just wanted to make this video to show you that price action is really the same thing over and over. And even in cases where price doesn't do the same thing, there are still many opportunities to take wins and losses. But looking for the same exact thing every single time is what's going to determine if you're successful or not. And we can eventually see that price goes up. And that's why I emphasize on the importance of confirming, and this is where we kind of are in our current market conditions, and price is kind of going up. And so that's pretty much all that I have as of right now. Maybe in the future, if I go to a weekly chart, maybe in the future we see this high get taken out. Maybe we can see some return to this zone down here in some reactions. But we also have to consider the bigger time frame. Notice how I told you guys this happens in every single time frame. Look at what we see. This slowly taken out on a weekly chart. So maybe we can see a long move to the downside based off of everything that's happening in the economy today. But that's also a topic for a different day. And yeah, like the video if it was helpful. Drop a comment with questions, and that's pretty much all I have.